It's orange and blue skies, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. And the New York Knickerbockers are moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years, as they easily eliminated the Boston Celtics tonight in what was a blowout, 119-81, which was never close after the first quarter. They got up early. They were up 6 after the first quarter, and then in the second quarter, they really put the game away with a 38-17 quarter, and they opened up a 26-point lead at the half, and that was pretty much curtains. As you know, the Boston Celtics, they were pretty much short-handed going in, having lost Jason Tatum after Game 4. The Knicks were hitting on all cylinders early on in the first quarter. You know, Jalen Brunson, he was not really off to a fast start. It was Karl Anthony Towns and Miles Bridges who did the bulk of the scoring in the first quarter. But in the second quarter, the whole team got clicking. Jalen, you know, he really got rolling. OG started making shots. Miles Deuce McBride off the bench made some big shots and some big plays. Josh Hart started to get involved. So it was a complete team dominance. Everybody was dominating. And the Knicks will now move on to the Eastern Conference Finals, as I said, for the first time in 25 years. And ironically, they will face the team that they faced the last time they were there, Indiana Pacers. As a matter of fact, the last 4 times the Knicks have been in the Eastern Conference Finals, they have faced the Indiana Pacers. And as you know, the Pacers eliminated them last year. That was in the divisional round. The Knicks were pretty much short-handed. A lot of their players were hurt. But this will be a totally different story. As I said, this will be their 4th time in the Eastern Conference Finals. The Knicks have won twice, and the Pacers have beat them once. So it will be very, very interesting to see what happens here. During the regular season, they only faced off twice, and they were 1-on-1 against each other. So, you know, it will be a matchup of contrasting styles. The Indiana Pacers, as you know, they want to keep the game up tempo. They were a second-ranked offense all year. Great offensive team, great cohesion. They go very deep, and their calling card is offense, led by their All NBA point guard Tyrese Halliburton, who had an incredible series last series against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Really dominated that series, and I expect him to be leading the charges here. But they have a lot of players on their roster who are capable. Up front, they have, you know, Pascal Siakam. They have Miles Turner up front, who is another big guy. In the backcourt, you know, they have a lot of dynamic players. Ben Mathurin, who missed last year playoffs, he'll be back. He'll be a big factor. Andrew Nembhard, he'll be there. TJ McConnell, you know, so they have a lot of players on this squad. They're coached by a very, very good coach in Rick Carlisle, who has a very, very deep and storied history in the NBA. He's coached a lot of good teams, led teams to the finals. So, and he's also won a championship. So I expect them to be very, very prepared for the task. As you look at the Knicks calling card, I think, in these playoffs has been their defense. And they're coming off 2 very physical series. As you know, they have knocked off the defending champions, the Boston Celtics, here in the second round in another very physical series, because, you know, Boston was a very, very good defensive team as well. So going into this Eastern Conference Finals, it will really be a contrast in styles. I expect the Knicks to be the more defensive-minded team, and I expect Indiana to be the more offensive-minded team. So it will be a matter of which team will be able to impose their will more in the series, will determine the shift in dynamic in the series and who really takes control and ultimately wins the series. First game, as you know, will be coming up here on Wednesday in New York. They'll have home court advantage. So we look forward to see what takes place there. But it's orange and blue skies, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll see what happens here as they go up against Indiana in the Eastern Conference Finals. My early prediction will be definitely the Knicks to advance, probably in 5 or 6 games. Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen, and peace, and we're out.